Hello, everybody. I hope that you are having a fabulous Friday morning and that just keeps rolling all the way through the weekend. Filling in here for Randee Brown over at Thunder Horse Descendants. Hi, Barbara. Nice to see you. We have some struggle buses going on of the canine variety, so I apologize. They're driving me just about batty. You might hear my husband's dog yelling at me by name, but Anyways, I certainly hope, good morning, Dawn. I certainly hope that Kimmy is in the house because, hold on, Shay, stop it. We have a lady across the street that's getting construction done, and because dad drives, see, she yells at me by name. They're having construction done, so every time a truck pulls up, she thinks it's dad, and then she gets mad when it's not. So I had her in here as hopefully a way that she would not make this about her, but apparently she didn't get the memo. So yeah. Anyways, guys, as I was saying, certainly hope Kim Evans is in the house because we are doing a leather knotting necklace today, and I know how much she loves leather and knotting, so I hope that she's going to be here today. We're going to use some fossil coral beads and get everything done. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Cynthia. Hello, everybody. Don't hit the light. Yes, it is an early morning for me, but it's okay. Randee supports me. We can fill in for her on a Friday. It's absolutely okay. I can go take a nap afterwards because I don't got no place to be at 11 o'clock, right? We'll be good. It'll all be good. But like I said, we're going to do a leather project today using some 1.5 millimeter brown leather and a beautiful fossil coral pendant that was donated to me to make things with, and this as well as all of my designs are for purchase unless otherwise stated specifically. So I hope that everybody's going to mosey on in and we're going to get going, but I'm going to go ahead and take you guys down to my mat so that I can show you what we're working with today. Like I said, it's going to be an easy peasy day. Looks like I might need to bring my camera over just a tad because it seems like it's really high up, but that's all right. I have some beautiful fossil coral large hole beads. Wrong way. Sorry. I don't drive anymore. But anyways, so we are working with these beautiful large hole fossil coral beads that are gorgeous. These beads, just because I like to let people know the price for those, this might be the wrong jar. Hold on. Oh my goodness, where is the price? I just emptied the whole thing out. Oh, right here. Are 45 cents a piece. So more economical choice would be Crazy Lace Agate. That would be a really good comparison to throw up. Morning, Maisha. Morning, Miranda. Would be a less expensive version of what we're going to be doing here. I'm just going to go let her out. If she barks, I'm sorry, guys. She's literally at one side of the door because her baby's at the other side of the door. No bark. Go. Ugh. Okay. Hopefully that's the last time the dogs annoy us, but that may just be my own wishful thinking. Okay, so we have our large hole beads. These are 10 millimeter. And then, as I was saying, we have this gorgeous fossil coral pendant that is going to be the focal of our design today. It is early for me, so if I have a case of the drops, that's why I haven't been awake long enough for my body to get all the twitches out. So we're gonna start with, I also need to get my tube bead. We're gonna start with, I'm gonna go a whole 36 inches just because I would rather have too much than not enough. So, oh, here's some scissors. We can cut that. Okay. And then we're going to pull this down so we know where our center is. And now I'm like, you didn't make this long enough, Heather, because you have to fold it in half. Oh, goodness. Okay. I will still use this. Know that. But I need 48 inches, which is just about, just about a wingspan for me. So we'll just use that measurement today. Okay, so we're gonna find our middle point, which is right here. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go up right here and we're gonna do a barrel knot. And okay, it was just up here yesterday. Oh, it's still up here today. Just pushed it all the way against my little hobby caddy. Okay, let's try this again. So we're gonna go just north of the middle of the center, and we're gonna do a knot of 3 times. I just did that really fast, sorry. So you're gonna take the knot underneath the tube bead, and you're gonna go around once, then go towards the right or the left towards your other hand that you're using to hold the barrel tube with. Then you're going to take that same piece and you're going to go into the tube bead. You can do this with a straw as well. You can do this with just about any opening that will allow you to wrap around it. I like the tube beads because it's not as thick, I guess would be the word, I think. So I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and knot this entire thing. So on this side before we start with the center. So if you are trying to, good morning, Mary. Good morning, Beth. Good morning, Tina. Did I miss anybody else? If I did, Linda, Kimberly, Tammy, all in the house. Thank you guys. So there's the first knot. Now, if you are trying to keep 16 knots all the way up one side and on the other, this is what I'm going to tell you. You need to measure from the end of the knot to the beginning of the next knot. Because if you don't, whatever bead goes inside is going to be, you're going to be off center because the bead's going to be in the way, because there's a whole multitude of things. So it's always best to start at the end of your knot and measure out an inch to the next one. So I'm going to do another barrel knot on the other side of this leather. I'm sitting here going, is this leather? It'll be okay. I'm going to just put the barrel tube right, or the tube bead right here. And I'm going to go around once, twice, 3 times, and then through the barrel knot too. Again. So hold these in place and just pull it into position. You don't need to like really yank on it. You want it to be taut, not tight. Otherwise, you have a greater risk of snapping your leather. Okay, so as I was just saying, I have my ruler right here, and I want my next knot to start at the end of this one, and I'm going to go 1 inch up. And then I'm going to keep my thumb right there so I know where I want my next knot to be. This is the same for pearl knotting, anything like that. If you're doing an illusion necklace, you always want to measure from the last spot, the end of your last knot to the beginning of your new knot. So we're going to go ahead. I got to move this up ever so slightly so that there's an inch there. There we go. Now I can just put my thumb there and slowly roll and scooch my knot into place. And then I'm ready for another bead and ready for another knot. Glad to hear that, Beth. Ideas for the petrified wood in the bargain bead box. I haven't got there yet. Right now I have the bronzite in a tumbler. See if I can bring them back to life, because if not, I didn't mind sacrificing them. But what do you think on that? And I'll probably put up a video this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, Maisha from Blue Studio, I'm gonna say it wrong. Blue Sapphire Studios, I believe it is. Yes, Blue Sapphire Studio. Good morning, Miranda. Is going to be my guest for Sunday. She's been on the show before, but she's had some accomplishments since the last time she was on. So I'll bring her on again. Plus, when she was on, I didn't have my questions set up. So I kind of want to get her answers on some of those. So it'll be fun. We're going to go and we're going to do another barrel knot on this side. Put it through the bag. And also, I know that the price of 45 cents a bead might like shock you, but I'm going to use 6 beads. That's all. So that's not even $3 worth of a higher price bead. It's higher price because fossil coral isn't as readily available as it used to be, but also because these are large hole beads. And anytime you have a large hole bead, they run a larger risk of the bead breaking as they're drilling it. So that will that drives the price up a little bit too. Good morning, Deborah. We most definitely are, Maisha. I'm excited. I'm excited. Some of my early guests, some of my early guests are some of my favorite shows. So just know that. Plus, we have to all support each other. We compete with men. We don't need to compete with each other. Just saying. So we're going to go from the end of this knot till the beginning of this knot, 1 inches. 1 inch. Inches. That is not a plural, Heather. We're going to go through the back. I also like to do a double wrap. Put this back down to the ruler. This is really the only time that you want to be like concerned, and it's just because I didn't want all of the knots just down at the center. I wanted to kind of spread them out so that you could get a longer necklace, but it's not just your run-of-the-mill bead knot, bead knot, bead knot. I wanted to spread them out a little bit because they're beautiful and they will help draw the eye up to your face by doing it this way. So it's great fun. I love doing knots. And anything that can get a man's face up to your face is always a plus. Am I right, ladies? We will use whatever means necessary. Okay. We're going to go ahead and tighten this knot right here. Again, you don't need to pull tight. And then we're going to move on to the other side of the necklace. And I'm not sure that I like this bail. I think I'm probably going to put it on a smaller thing because it just goes right over the knot. So I don't want that. That makes all of that work. All for naught. All for naught. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Oh, this one is actually soldered on there. All right, got to bring out the big guns. Come on. There we go. Those. There's a one of garbage. And then I'm just going to make an 18 gauge silver if I can find it. Otherwise, I can do it gold. It doesn't matter much if it is silver or gold. So, and now I have the little snowman from, early animation movies for Christmas, and his silver is gold. So, okay, come on. I wanted to just do a stronger thing. All right, I'm going to use my bare breast. That is 28. You guys, if any of you got this bare bronze wire and don't want it, please let me know. I will gladly take it off your hands. I'm a bit obsessed with it. I've been kind of hoarding it ever since I got it. So, All right, now we're going to do just a couple jump rings. Sorry, you guys have been in the dark this whole time. I didn't even realize it. Okay, so I'm just going to do on the second step a couple of turns just to make sure in case the first one messes up that it still works. So I'm going to cut it so that the flush end is on the outside of that. And then I'm going to make this end flush again just by going just up past the V mark like that. Flip my pliers over and I'm going to go in and make another cut. I'm going to again cut this just a little tent, as I like to call it. Just cut that off and then cut that. So now I have two good jump rings here. I am going to use my pliers just after I close this for the first time. I'm going to go ahead and work harden it using the box joint of my bell making pliers right here to work harden it. I just wanted the ends to come together before I did so. I'm just going to squish. And then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to squish it again. And I do this so that I don't have to bring out my bench block for like a one-time gig. There's no reason to bring it out. If I was doing a bunch of them, I would, but this will just help work harden it more so that our pendant is supported, as I said. I don't know why I just put all my tools away when I still need them. Because I'm trying to be better about that. Okay, there we go. That to the side. I have found it on eBay, so yeah. The next puppy adoption, whatever, that's what it's going towards. Alrighty, the too big. And now we're just going to go to the other side. And once I get it in here, I'm okay with it being nestled really tight because then that will keep the bead from being directly on the leather, though I don't know that that's really something to like stress over. This, on the other hand, is. I should have just taken the, okay. Just gonna take that off and do the other side. And then I can open my jump ring and attach it at the end. Leaving just a little gap. That way I don't have to have it on the whole time I'm knotting. I think. I'm just going to kind of move it, and I'm not going to nestle it up right against the other one. I'm good for that. And then we're going to put our fossil coral on, and we're going to knot. I prefer the straight tube beads over the rounded beads. I feel that I can get in a lot closer. And I don't have to like worry about it bumping up against the round part of it, bumping up against the bead. So yeah. So I'm going to put the end of that knot on my ruler. That's the next spot I want to do a knot for the next bead. I'm going to tighten it up ever so slightly, and then I'm going to make sure this needs to come down. Right there, and I'm going to tighten it up. And you will see that even without measuring, my beads are where they're going to meet up without having to go over to the other side and take measurements the whole way up. And it's because it's the end of one, not to the beginning of the next. So, good morning, Sid. I'm bummed that Kim E is not in the house. This is just her kind of project. And for those of you who don't already know, I'm going to be doing the live sale on Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I just think it will be better. So it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because having it at 6:15, I know, was an issue for some of my East Coast customers. So this will make it that much easier. On another bead. I picked such an easy project. I'm going to have to fill in with something else after I'm done with this one. I didn't think I'd finish up this much. So maybe we'll pull out the petrified wood and take a look at that. Sorry about that. Also, I hope you noticed, because I did not say so, but I didn't just pick out the yellow coral fossil beads. I could have, and that would have been perfectly okay, but I wanted some variation between, because, you know, not all fossil coral is the same. And you can see all lined up almost. Looks like this one, who's a little bit high, the one I just did. There we go. We're going to go ahead and attach our folk. Well, no, we're going to deal with the end of this. I could do, okay, why did this one, did I not measure that one? I did not. I'm going to go in and fix this real quick. And if ever you make a mistake, you guys, know that We do all the time, especially when the camera's on. Anyone else who creates videos can vouch on that. I just have this last knot not lining up with everything else. And I'm not sure why. I might have been talking and not paying attention. But hey, it gives me an opportunity to swap out the beads. So I do have a yellow one on the end of both sides. I don't always feel the need to do that, but again, it being the same color as the focal will help draw the eye up. So, anybody have any big, this East Coaster? Thanks you. Aw, I know, I love it. I want a pat on the back. I am actually finishing up a project of my own. Woohoo! On UFOs. Okay, what does UFO mean? Finishing a product, one of my UFOs. Unfinished. I don't know what that means. I'm so confused. Okay, that knot is fine. So it was just this side. Well, this knot needs to be down here. And you guys, if ever there's something specific that you need, let me know. If it's something that may not, okay. Yes, I need to come up just a little bit more. I've stretched up a little bit. But if there's ever something specific that you want that you just haven't been able to find, let me know. And I can either use that as an item in a future sale, or I can go and do a little personal shopping for you, which I have fun doing. And my husband will love you to death because, you know, that means I'm not spending money out of our account. I'm spending somebody else's. So that's always, you know, a win for him. There we go. Now they're all lined up. It was just that last one. But, and because I don't pull my knots real tight, it was easier to undo. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Betty Jones, I literally did an entire 28 days of men's jewelry on the 4 weeks leading up to Father's Day, where I literally did a new men's design every day for 28 days. And there was a lot of nodding in that. So that would be where I would send you. And if you ever need more help, just let me know. I don't mind. I've done just like I've done personal shopping for people. I've also done personal personal, I don't know what to call it. In this case, personal nodding with you, where I can see what you're doing, show you what you may need. It might be such a small little thing to tweak it, and you'll be good to go. Rosanna has said many times that she was not good at them, but she loves doing them now. I helped her with it, and she actually prefers the double knot over the triple wrap, not double knot, double wrap barrel loops over the triple ones, which I agree, because if you look at the back right here, sorry, that's up too close. Back right here, you'll see that the leather is like going sideways, and you have these two crossing motions against. If you only do a double wrap, that ends up looking like an X. And I just think it looks so cool, especially unfinished objects. Okay. And that will hopefully that will help you. But if you are having trouble with it, I don't mind showing you. typically I would bring on like a thicker cord to show you, so but I didn't plan for that. And we moved my macrame cord to the other room, so this could solely be, well, once we get it finished, this would solely be for my bead stuff. Because yes, I need a whole room because I just have such a wide variety, which I don't recommend doing. If you see a new technique that you like, and you're like, oh, that's so cool, like knotting, please don't go out and buy every single color of every size leather. Wait, give it a moment. What I always tell everybody to do is watch at least 3 to 5 people do the same skill over and over again, because we all learn differently and we all teach differently. So the way I teach it might be the way you need it taught, and why you haven't been able to be more successful at them up until now. And also because my way isn't the only way, and it's not the right way or the wrong way. It's the way that I have found works for me. So, and I did macrame with cording before I mixed it into my jewelry. So that really helped me a lot. And that's why I typically like to bring on like a thicker cord so I can show you. And I would recommend using a cord to do it, so that cutting it off, if you make a mistake, not having to pull it out is great. So practice on that first before you go into using your leather. I will also give you the tip that if you're getting leather that has the shiny cording, like the shiny cover to it, your knots are going to slip a lot. And so matte or natural leather, I believe that Leather Cord USA, who I get all of my leather through, calls it natural, not matte. But that's where I get my leather from. And so that's why I tell you that make sure it's a good, high quality leather. And because I use the natural, I don't have to worry about my knot sliding out. So yes. FaceTime, I do not have Apple, but we can meet up in Messenger and do the exact same thing. And I really don't mind. So. Okay, yeah, good. I'm glad. But yes, I think that it's important to help each other out. I don't think that I should be afraid that if I teach you how to do barrel knots and all of a sudden all of my barrel knot jewelry, it becomes all for naught, literally. So I believe that the jewelry world has many facets, and I, pun intended, because just like there's not just several facets, but there's several different ways to cut facets. So there's room for all of us. All of us. And as long as you are a good person out there to do good by yourself and good by the community, you're not going to have a problem finding somebody that will help you. At least not here, where I'm concerned. And we have a Facebook group called Beading Besties. There's a 5 or 6 member admin team, and we set it up a few months ago. And other than approving new member requests, we have not had to do any kind of moderating, because you are moderating yourselves. We're adults after all. We don't need to be like, we shouldn't need a babysitter. We should be okay without having to do that. So that's my 2 cents on it anyways. I think that we should all come together and build each other up together and help each other in a collective within the jewelry world, rather than being like exclusionary. Just the way I feel. So yes, I know I love the yellow fossil coral. It's so, and it's a beautiful one. It's not I was very lucky. Tammy Floria sent me a bunch of pendants and stuff to sell off or to use in jewelry pieces and then sell that jewelry to help with supplies because I can't monetize until I have so many watch hours and so many followers. So, but yes, it's beautiful. They are, I'm going to zoom in more rather than get up by the light so that you can see, look, they look like someone sliced open a lemon. Oh, so perfectly too. And it's beautiful. And there's no like dye puddling. It's just beautiful. So that's why I was like, I didn't want to get just the yellow because there are various shades. So, except for I did go back and do a yellow one at the end of that. But so there's that. Now there are several ways that you guys can end this. You can end it by doing another set of knots. I'm not good at the adjustable knot. That's one knot I've never been able to master. I've always had a problem with it, but you can also macrame the ends and make it adjustable that way. Or I have little silicone beads, beads that I love to use. I don't see right here at the ready like normal. Oh, let me look real quick because it's the easiest way to end a knotting project. So let me see if I can find them real quick. My hubby has been helping me, and so sometimes stuff gets pushed off that or taken off that he doesn't know. I use all the time. So yeah, I don't know what he put, where he put that. Oh, they're right here. Success. And you can find these in multiple colors, multiple thicknesses, everything. So these are just these little like rubber or silicone beads. So on this one, because I have yellow, I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm just going to do the see-through, but you can do black. Obviously that would be okay. But all I do is come down on the one side and I'm going to put all the silicone bead on both on the same side. And I'm going to go ahead and do 3 just because I want it to be make it more secure. So I'm just going to put the silicone beads on one end of the leather. Then I'm going to kind of flip it so it's this way now. And then all I do is start bead by bead because I don't like rushing it. And I don't like to have to open my O beads multiple times. I want them to stay intact and not have to worry about it snapping on me. So, like I said, they have these in multiple colors. I have them in 2 shades of pink, clear, and black. And that's because I was going to use them for other things, and you can. I've used them in multiple knotting projects. So now we're just going to make sure that our ends are about the same on either side, which it's off ever so slightly, but that's because I started with this end and not the other. And then you're just going to pull your ends in and create, I'll go ahead and do a double wrap barrel knot so you can see what I mean, what I meant when I said that. And all I'm going to do is come down at the end and I'm going to make another barrel knot. So I'm going to wrap around once, wrap around twice, Why did I do that like that? Once, twice. I was doing it backwards for some reason. And then through the tube again. And I do this pretty far up the leather so that I can do the knotting, but then I scooch it down so whoever buys it can wear it at multiple lengths. But you'll see. So on this side of the knotting, you'll see there's just the two little lines, but if you flip it over, sorry, I'm completely off screen. Man, I'm sorry. I'll show it again. But on the other side, it looks like an X, which I like. Sorry. Let me go to the other end. I'm sorry. So we're just going to come up. We're going to wrap once, wrap twice, go through the back of the barrel knot tube, pull it through. And then, like I said, I like to scooch it down and into place. And as I was saying, on this side, you get two lines. On the other side, it gives you a little X. And I like the X. And then once again, we're going to marry up our ends just to make sure that they're the same. I kept them. And then you can decide if you want to have a long tail, if you don't want to tail at all. I tend to go like 1/4 of an inch. And then I like to take my thread burner, and where this is where you can see the inside, I'm just gonna tan it, not sunburn it. And then you don't see the color within the natural. But I'm serious, guys, just tap, 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 tap around it, because the end will get crunchy, and that's the last thing you want. Then once I've finished that, I go in with my GS Hypo. And I will tell you that GS Hypo and I have a love-hate relationship. Like right now, I can't even find it. Why isn't it in my glue jar? It's supposed to be in my glue jar. You can also use E6000 or B7000, the off-brand. It is also more of a rubbery consistence rather than the Loctite and or the Gorilla Glue. But if I'm not going to see it, then I'm all about it. I can use the Loctite if it's going inside, whatever. If I'm going to see it, I would rather use this because it has more of a rubbery consistency. And so I like to squish on the inside of the knot, not on the outside where it is visible that I have done so. So I just stick my tip in and squirt some glue out. And you can go down and do as many of your knots as possible. I've never found the need to, when I do a knotting project, to go and glue each and every single knot, especially if you're using matte or natural leather, because it just does it itself. And then you can just slide these back and forth as much as you need to. Maybe one time you want a shorter necklace. Maybe another time you want to layer and you want a shorter strand up top with this down below. Maybe, a real simple chain. Once you've gotten your project done. I'm of the mind, I'm not, I do like double and triple strand, and I don't mind doing it. I've just found that that is easier for me to do it this way. Okay, that's the wrong job. Why do I keep doing this? Light fossil coral. Okay. I will tell you guys, I appreciate you guys all showing up here. I know that many of you only know of me because of Randee, which is why, you know, she supports me. I support her. She always has. She's never had a problem with it. So are we. And I want you all to know that you become a member of Beading Besties, you can post your pieces. You can post your channel. You can post your Etsy account. You can post any and everything that you want. The only thing that we don't want happening within the comments or on Beading Besties itself is the talk of money and the money exchanging hands, because the admin team is not responsible for any of that. So that's the only limitation that I have within the group, is just change money outside of Beading Besties. Do it on Messenger, Instagram, by text, whatever. Outside of that, there aren't any limitations. Oh, I forgot these. That's it. And I honestly mean it. Yeah, you moved it, but it's all right. And I mean that with all my heart. So if you guys, there's a link down below. There's also a link to Donna Horse Descendants, obviously, her YouTube channel, because she did give me the opportunity to sub for her, which I greatly appreciate. So it's great. Oh yeah, Mary, it is, isn't it? It's so easy. And you can buy dark brown ones, black ones. You can buy all the different colors. They have a neutral set. Just go on Amazon and search silicone O beads, rubber O beads. They are silicone. The ones I use are silicone. And like I said, you can find them in just about any size. You can find them where the inner diameter of the bead itself is larger, so that if you're using 2mm or 3mm leather, obviously you're going to want a larger, thicker bead to do so. But they have them. That's the thing. They have them in all the different sizes. So you guys can go and find them easily. I don't have affiliate links, but I link them in several of my knotting videos. So they're there. What did Beth ask? Oh, about, I don't know that I have my bargain bead box out right here. Goodness gracious, I don't. But does anybody have any questions or anything else? I don't have the bargain bead box on my desk right now. I was clearing it off for today. Move things I didn't need precisely for this out of the ready. But you're going to be happy. I'm going to be doing a same design, 3 price points video. Once I'm done here, not live, I'm just going to record it. And in case you don't know what that is, I like to show a project, the same or very similar designs at 3 different price points, so that it's accessible to everybody, to more people. And that can be like, you step up the grade of the pearl. If you're doing a pearl necklace, you step up, you use plated wires and findings and whatever. And then the third, maybe where you were using sterling silver bead caps, sterling silver jump rings, all of that. And then that would be level 3. And I have also found, when I was watching podcasts or videos about the mind of a customer, oftentimes, if they have the option, they're going to go with the most expensive one, because they equate that with quality when there's nothing wrong with the other ones. So, oh, thanks, Janet Lee. Yes, I love them. I also have I have stepped ones, and I have all sizes of the little glass jars with the cork because it's glass and there's a cork. It keeps the moisture out of my storage, which I did not find within plastic bottles, but I did use plastic bottles for like 4 months to make sure that this was a storage solution I liked before I made the investment of replacing all of my containers so that they are glass. Just because I didn't want to go out and spend all the money and find yet another storage solution that didn't work for me. So that's the only thing. But I love them. I can look at my beads. I know where they are. It's so much. We're like, I would say 60 to 70% through with the overhaul of my bead room. And then once I do that, then I'll do a tour of my bead room where my light box is to photograph things, my storage solutions, all of that kind of stuff. So once we get there, I will be doing that. So I'm excited. But anyways, more than one price point. Yes. Jenna, I'm not sure if you heard, but yes, I did 28 days of men's jewelry designs leading up to Father's Day, where I did a design every day. There's a lot of nodding videos there. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I'm getting like the end of summer cold or what it is, but also I got up really early. So if Randee calls me and she's like, "Are you doing morning coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Okay, I just texted you and you didn't reply." And her text message was like, and I'm like, "Nope, I got you." She's like, "Okay, thank you." So I was really excited and happy to do this. She's been a great support, and that's the way that I want to run. I want to be a part of. So yes. Just had coffee on this chilly morning here in West Virginia. Oh, really, Cindy? You're gonna tease me? Oh, I would love to have a chilly morning. Love to have coffee on a chilly morning. You have no idea. We still don't have cold water here because it's so hot that cold water doesn't exist. You get like a tepid temperature. You don't get cold yet. And then the rest of it's just so hot you can't stand it. So I'll be happy when that happens. I'm trying to think. There's 7 more minutes. I just didn't. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. You're welcome, Janet Lee. If you guys ever, and again, if there's any beads you want, gemstones you're looking for, a specific shape, a carved bead, anything like that, you can always reach out. You can, no, it's okay, Cindy. I'm just jealous. That's all. You can always reach out. My email address is exactly the same as my YouTube channel, titistrinketsandtreasures@gmail.com. And I'm actually going to get the rest of the beads for Saturday. Like Steve's gonna get off early so we can go and do it before it gets like crazy busy. So there's still time for requests if you have any. But yeah. But we all had fun shopping. That was my first like time I've ever experienced that. And those ladies have it down to an art. They are pulling different beads, pulling different sizes, keeping everybody's orders on track, got the invoices out, everything. They're on it. It was so, I feel you. I'm from Miami, so I fell on your, yeah. Fell on your paint. No, I got you. But the way they have it, that is my, like, that's the way I want it once we get to that point. But like I said, my husband prefers when I do personal shopping for people because then, like I said, it's not coming out of our bank account. So that's always fun. But anyways, guys, I hope that was a good kickoff to your Friday morning and to your weekend overall. I will be back on Sunday with another episode of Beading Besties with Maisha Jackson from Blue Sapphire Studios. Also, if any of you guys want to be a guest and come on, I literally just interview you about your jewelry journey, how you got started, how you progressed from that point to where you are now. We talk about your design aesthetic. We talk about like your favorite gemstones, all of that stuff. It's very conversational. If the conversation, like if we find we have extra time, or you would specifically like to show us technique on camera, let me know. I'm all about it. You have a show coming up, or you just started your like jewelry journey into like coming up and going to sales and things of that nature, you are more than welcome. Just reach out to me. I'd love to have you on. Oh, thank you, Tammy. I'd love to have you guys all on. So I hope that you guys all have a fabulous rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.